Hello. So this is going to be part 3 of the series on tinnitus or ringing in the ears. So go back and check out parts 1 and 2 if you haven't watched those yet. So in part 3, I'm going to talk about what I do to help people with tinnitus. So I always tell people with this problem, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is there's really not a medication or pill that someone can take that will make tinnitus go away. The good news is that while this is sort of a nuisance problem, it's not a life or death or a serious problem. It does not mean you're going deaf, and there's definitely things you can do to help make this better and make it much more tolerable. But that being said, the goal of treating tinnitus is really not to get rid of the noise. It's to make the noise be off in the background, where maybe it's still there if you think about it, but it's not bothering you, you're not paying much attention to it, and it's not having any effect on your life. So that's really the goal of where we want to get people with tinnitus. So I think the biggest thing to help people get there is just simple reassurance. Learning about what tinnitus is and sort of understanding their problem a little bit better. Because when all of that's an unknown, it's very easy to become worried and anxious about what this sound is that you're hearing. And that stress and anxiety is only going to make you pay more attention to the ringing, and it's going to make it louder and more bothersome to you. So just taking a few deep breaths, letting that noise sort of ring off in the background, and relaxing is going to help your brain to start to naturally tune it out to where it doesn't bother you so much. So that's probably the biggest thing that anyone can do. But there's some other little tips and tricks that can also help speed this process along. So one of those is what we call masking, but basically that's just trying to keep a little low-level background noise around at all times. So commonly people will notice the tinnitus more when they're in a silent setting. So commonly that's when people are trying to sleep at night. So I found if you put a little fan in the corner of your room or a white noise maker or just something that will provide a little low-level consistent noise or sound, it will help to kind of drown out that tinnitus, and it helps your brain to tune it out. Other simple things would be to avoid anything that's going to stimulate you or get you amped up. So this is different drugs like caffeine, and then different medications like aspirin or ibuprofen are some other common ones. So there's a lot of medications, but these are kind of the most common ones that are triggers for tinnitus. So if you are a big coffee drinker or you drink lots of caffeinated drinks, you may want to consider cutting back on that. Again, this is not a life or death problem, so if you love drinking coffee, you don't have to quit coffee, but just know that it may make your tinnitus louder after you drink coffee. And then finally, just trying to de-stress as much as you can. So if you're going through a stressful time at work, if you're not getting good sleep, all of these things can make your tinnitus louder. So anything you can do to help yourself to relax, get a little more sleep, do yoga or meditation or whatever it is, go for a walk in the woods. Anything to help you, relax a bit can help with ringing in the ears. And finally, I want to touch on the topic. You may notice online or in various advertisements there are different herbal supplements and supposed medications that can eliminate tinnitus. None of these different medications or supplements have any actual medical proof that they work. But that being said, if you want to try them, I don't see a huge downside to doing that. If it works for you, great, it works for you. And every individual is not a population. So just because this medication has been studied in 10,000 people and it has no real effect, doesn't mean it can't help an individual like you. So I can't really recommend trying any of these supplements, but there's no reason not to, and if it works for you, great. Anyway, that's the end of my spiel on that. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have tinnitus, definitely come in and see me. Anyone with ringing in their ears should definitely get a hearing test to look for any underlying problems that might be more significant. So anyway, I hope this was great and helpful for you, and I'll see you soon.